Alright, so my name is Steubing, and I'm a junior here at Groveton High School. And I just want to talk to y'all tonight a little bit. It's my testimony, so to speak. So it's kind of my walk with Christ and kind of some moments in my life where I really felt like He was trying to tell me something, or just my life through Him and believing in Him. So when I grew up in church, you know, and so I went on Sunday school when I was little in the morning, you know, colored pictures, you know, like Jonah and the Whale, you know, and all that. I watched Veggie Tales, you know. You got Veggie Tales, yeah, that's where it's at, you know. I used to love this show. But that was my childhood, you know. I went to church every Sunday and we did all that, and so I got saved when I was 7 years old because of that. Because I felt like not just because you grow up in church doesn't mean that you're automatically saved. You still have to make the decision for yourself, and I did at that time. And so after that, after a little while, I was still going to church, you know, and everything, but I felt, and I was so naive to it at the time, I didn't really feel it at the time, but I was so lukewarm at the time. And that means, like, you are a Christian, and you confess yourself as a Christian, and you've been saved, you know, and stuff, but you're not getting out and professing to other people about the Word, and you're not spending time in your Bible outside of church, you know, and stuff. And that was kind of how I was living at the time. I would say I was a Christian, I would go to church and be in my Bible there, but outside of that, I don't know, that was, you know, that was just kind of the extent of it at the moment. But there was a big moment that I can remember growing up that I really thought that the Lord was really trying to tell me something. And I played Pee Wee football back in the day. And so I had this coach named Coach Slate. And we were really good. He taught us a lot of things. He taught us how to win, and he taught us how to win and lose with class. He taught us a lot of valuable life lessons and a lot of things that I still remember him for to this day. But I guess my fourth year playing with him, he got cancer. And so around that time, I didn't really, you know, I thought, why does such an amazing man, you know, get this? You know, why does that happen, God? You know, why in the world could somebody like that do that? Get this. But he never said that, though. You know, he never complained about it. He never said, why God, why do I have to give up my time to go get treatment, you know, and stuff, when I could be spending it with my family and stuff. He never complained to God. He always knew, because he knew that God had a plan. And you know, you can read about that all you want and know that God has a plan because you've read it in the Bible or people have told you before, but until you see it and you see somebody you care about exhibit that in real life, it has a whole different effect on you than it would if you just read it. You know, so I saw that, and I saw him go through that without complaining because he had full faith in God, and he knew that whatever happened, God had his back, and he knew that God had a plan. And so that really spoke to me, and that was a big time moment that I can remember where God was really trying to get my attention and teach me a lesson about how to live my life and how to live in his faith. Because at the time, he passed away April, make sure I get this right, April 8th, 2015. And so I was 12 at the time. And I was finishing my 7th grade year, and again, at the time, I was still living kind of lukewarm. Although I knew that God was trying to tell me something in that moment, I was still kind of living lukewarm. I wasn't living how I should as far as telling people about Christ and living as a Christian outside of church and making sure other people get into church and spending time in my Word. And so after that, I kind of went through my 8th grade year like that, you know, and stuff. And then my dad said we're moving to Groveton, so we were coming here. You know, and that was another moment in my life where I felt like the Lord was telling me something. He was telling me, okay, I'm going to give you a fresh start. I'm going to give you a new chance with people you've never met in your entire life to think about it and revitalize your faith, you know, and actually get out and talk to people about Jesus and go to church, but then read your Bible outside of church. And I don't know why I thought that, but he just put it in my head that this was the moment where I can almost start over again, I guess, and I can do everything I'm supposed to do, and live as a Christian just outside of Sunday. And that was big because once you realize that you've been, like I said, I was naive to the fact that I was living a lukewarm lifestyle until I wasn't. Until I saw what happened when you did. And that's huge. If that's already happened to you, or when it will, it's unlike anything you've ever felt before. You get such an amazing feeling that maybe you spend time in your Bible, and it happened to me a couple weeks ago. I opened up my Bible just because, just somewhere, and there was something I needed to hear because I was really stressed out, and I was worried. I wasn't thinking about how God had a plan, all the time and stuff. I felt like I was sinking a little bit, and it opened to me in the Bible, and it said, my Bible has little captions and little stories and stuff, and it said 7 reasons not to worry, right there at the top of the page. And so that's when, I knew that he told me, at that moment, that you don't have to worry, I have a plan. And he's reinforcing me that he has a plan, and that I don't have to worry because he's got it, just like Coach Slayton knew that. And it all comes back, it all comes around just like that. And you just got to remember that you got to have hope because, man, we're going to make mistakes, We're human. Everybody does it every day, all the time. But if you remember that the Lord has your back and that He knows what's going on and that He's going to take care of you, He's going to take care of you. And because we find our ground in, we go from a little thing from our man Tim Tebow here. I love Tim Tebow. This is my guy. I'm actually reading a book right now that I got this out of. But it's like he talks about how, a lot of bad stuff happened to him. He's been cut from teams, and stuff, and he hasn't known where to go in that situation. But he talks about how we find our ground in whose we are. And whose we are is we are people of Jesus Christ. And so when we know whose we are, that's when we can realize who we are. Because who we are Christians that are supposed to spread His word, and be a light to His glory. And so once you realize that, that's gonna help you become a better Christian, not such a lukewarm Christian. And it's, like I said, it's gonna give you a better feeling than you've ever experienced in your entire life. When you realize that we are people of Jesus Christ and that we are here for His purpose, and His purpose is for us to spread His word and be part of Him. So, thank you.